Get away from me, stupid thing! Is it gone?
Get back here, you stupid thing!
I hope you don't mind me saying so, but you look like someone who's good at cleaning up messes. I've got a big one for you, if you're up for it. I'd pay you for your... I was experimenting with a spell while my mentor, Magister Iren, was away, but the magic went awry. If it doesn't get dealt with, it's going to spread beyond this area and harm a bunch of innocent people. I can't fix it on my own, so I need help. I need to develop a counterspell, but first their protective wards around the area need to be restored by someone other than myself, so I don't taint the magic. That's where you come in. Like I said, if you help, I can pay. Hold still. You'll need this unless you want to spend the next few hours as a sheep. Not as glamorous as it sounds. And here, take these crystals. You'll need them to restore the wards. The first one is in the meadow just up the hill to the north. Mostly they serve to keep errant magic inside Tordriak's boundaries. You know, the standard 3 points of protection thing. Unfortunately, my spell kicked those wards in the teeth. They're not protecting anything now. Here we are. I'm going to cast a little... That's one ward restored! Let's go fix the next one. It's in the glade just west of here. Here we are. Almich. Oh, you're a natural. Maybe you should have been Magister Iren's apprentice. This is the last one. Let's get this over with. That's all the wards. Let's talk outside. I need to figure out what to do next. Ugh, stupid moats! I know my rogue spell is to blame for most of the weirdness happening around Tordreok, but it almost seems like these damned moats are becoming dangerous. They're doing more than just mischievous magic. Ugh, fish biscuits. I need to figure this out. I'm not sure. The moats aren't new. They're always hanging around Tordreok. I think they're drawn to places like this. But there was nothing in my spell that should have made them act malevolent. And there are a lot more around than usual. Yes, I can make traps to contain them, but I'm still worried about their behavior. While I work on the traps, could you head into the tower and look to Magister Iren's things? He might have a book with more information about the moats. See if you can find anything in the tower about the moats. I'll meet you there and start on the traps.
This is ridiculous. I knew Magister Iren should never have taken in a mangy cat like you.
Relax, Huldressa. I'm working on it.
You better work fast, because when Magister Erin... What the... Oh!
All right. That was a little funny. You in here? Did you find anything useful about the moats? I finished the traps. Once we set them up, they should take care of the moats. Then I can sort out the livestock in Huldressa, and at some point create a counterspell to fix everything for good. Did you learn anything useful? Oh, I read that one, with the Wind Sorrow lady, right? Oh, what if my spell disturbed her and that's why the moats are acting up? That's troubling. And also a problem for future Ember. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Or two things, actually. The traps are finished, but the livestock and Huldressa are still a problem. I want to figure out a way to return them all to their natural forms before the illusion does any damage. Could you set the traps? Here, I'll mark some places to set the traps. They're in a pack by the work tables outside. While you do that, I'll figure out how to fix the livestock and Huldressa. Then I can work on my counterspell. Meet me by the livestock pens when you're done. Good luck setting up the traps. I'll meet you by the livestock pens when you're... All right, let's get you two back to your regular chicken selves. Ha! I knew it would work. Run along, lady. You're back. The traps worked, didn't they? See? I told you I know what I'm doing. Mostly. I made something. I know it looks like a spoon, but, well, technically it is a spoon, but I enchanted it. And I call it the Spoon of Undo. I just tested it on those chickens. It removes the illusions perfectly. Normally I wouldn't bother, but illusions can be disorienting and cause terrible headaches. I don't want any of the animals suffering while I come up with my counterspell. Oh, and Huldressa. I suppose I don't really want her suffering either. Here, take the Spoon of Undo. If you could run around and fix the livestock and Huldressa, that will give me a chance to finally whip up this counterspell. By the time you're finished, I'm sure I'll have something figured out. Just look... I'll be in the tower working on the counterspell. Come find me when you're done.
Bah! Bah! I just a guar? This is all Emma's fault.
Fish biscuits. That wasn't right. I assume he'll dress us back to her charming self. I've run into a problem. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I've nearly finished my counterspell, but I need to find a tome called The Mirrored Way to complete it. I know Magister Irin has it, but it's not with the rest of his books. That's the bad news. Because if the Mirrored Way isn't with the rest of his things, it's probably locked away in his arcane library. The library he specifically forbids me from entering. The tome I need has to be in there. Without it, Magister Irin has warned me not to enter his library 1,000 times. But these are special circumstances. There will probably be some magical traps inside meant to keep me out. So I'll need your help getting the book while I deal with them. Once we find... Not sure. I picked the lock on the place as soon as I figured out he didn't want me getting in there. He's since put up protections and told me to stay out unless I have his permission. It wasn't hard. Mages like Magister Irin tend to think in very magical ways. Necessity. I wasn't exactly raised in the lap of luxury. Not even in the lap of genteel poverty, for that matter. You get good at things like that if you don't want to be hungry. Or caught by guards or angry merchants. Follow me. The library's downstairs. Give me just a moment to pick the lock. All right, let's get in and out as quick as we can. I don't sense anything. Maybe the old man was bluffing. Fish biscuits!
I warned you, Ember.
This spell is specifically targeting me. I'll figure out a way down. You just focus on getting the book. That's it! You got it! Now, let's get out of here before I set off something else. What do you say to some celebratory sweets? Magister Irin really didn't want me getting in there, huh? I didn't know the old man had it in him. He had something to target me specifically. What a sneaky old goat. Good thing I had you with me. You managed to get the book, right? Let me see it. Let me take a look. No, not that. That would be bad. What about this? Oh! Here it is. It's Amahan ist Exis, not Gahan Amexis ist. Good thing I checked. See? That's personal growth right there. 2 different arcane glyphs. They do entirely different things when written and pronounced aloud. The second one is what I need for my counterspell. Now all that's left is to get to the old ritual circle and cast this. I'll need your help. The counterspell should set everything right in Tordreyak. Things will be just as Magister Irin left them, and I won't have to face his furrowed brow. I'll need your help at the ritual site. Casting a spell this big is a 2-person job. The old ritual circle is a place of power, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. I plan to draw on the magic there to help strengthen my counterspell. Magister Irin told me about it. This probably isn't how he wanted to implement the lesson. Maybe? Old tales and myths always start from some truth at some point in time. The moats around here seem to be affected by more than my spell, is all I'm saying. I always expect the worst. I find it helpful. If luck is with us, maybe just some irritated wildlife we can deal with as we've done before. Or some of the bolder moats. But if there is some truth to the ritual circle is just up the hill. I'll meet you there. I'm here. First, we need to set the ritual flames. There's 3 around the site.
Disturb not my rest.
Light the 3 ritual flames. I'll get the ones on the altar. When I offered you my blade, I had no idea we'd get to do things like this. Almost there. It's done. The spell is set. Follow me. We should be able to see it materialize. Any second now. It worked! We did it! Come on, let's get back to the tower.
To work under these conditions. I was turned into a Guar. A Guar!
Of course, Huldressa. I promise to address the situation.
See that you do.
Huldressa sold me out, didn't she?
Let me speak to your associate first, Ember. So, you were witness to the events here, and as I understand it, you had a hand in bringing them to an end. For that, I thank you. And if you'll indulge me, I do have a few lingering questions. What in the world happened? I don't know what I expected, leaving her to her own devices here, even temporarily. Ember and Trouble are old friends. I can still feel the repercussions of this spell gone awry, as you say. Do I have you to thank for rectifying it? I see. As trying as she can be, she truly is a talented mage. She can be impatient, but given her natural inclination to magic, it's understandable. I always knew I was perhaps not the best teacher for her. I took her in because I knew I couldn't leave someone as skilled and impulsive as her to her own devices. But I have neither the time nor aptitude to teach her properly. It's my own failing. Speak to her, would you? I must collect my thoughts. Don't worry, Ember isn't in any trouble. While I am not pleased about my traumatized cook, I must concede that everything is back in order and the consequences of Ember's magic weren't dire. Still, I must consider what to do now. I don't mean to give the impression that Ember is incapable of learning. That's not the case. She's a bright mage, one of the brightest I've ever seen. Everything I've taught her she's taken to like flame to parchment. But therein lies the problem. Well, just like... Exactly right. Ember needs someone who can keep up with her. Someone who thrusts themselves headlong into adventure so that she may temper herself and her magic beside them. Perhaps when I was younger, I could have been that for her, but not now.
Hey, you! Let's talk while Magister Irin collects his thoughts. I thought Magister Irin would be as mad as a wet dragon, but he looks amused. It's probably because he's wanted to turn Huldressa into a Guar at some point. He just won't admit it. And the fact that we fixed it all before he got here helped. Well, I've been thinking. I'm grateful to Magister Irin, but sitting and reading about magic has little appeal to me. This whole thing just proved to me that I'm too restless here. I want to do magic, not just study it. Go on adventures, see things. I think it's time. I've been given good training here, but I still have a lot to learn. For me, the best teachers are curiosity and experience. I learn best by doing, so I need to get out in the world and continue my training. Ember the Sorcerer. I like the sound of that. But that can come later. First, take this. It's not much, but you deserve it. I think we made a good team today. If you ever need a sorcerer who has your back, let me know. We'd have some fun. Magister Irin, I'm grateful for your teachings and your patience. But I think it's time for me to move on.
The world is an excellent teacher for one of your talents, Ember. Do write me occasionally.
I should go pack my things. And say goodbye to Holdressa. Not a chance. Stendarr, keep us safe. Your children walk a dangerous path.
You there. Here, please. No, you don't know me. But I do know you. Keeping an eye on notable people while going unnoticed is sort of my expertise. The only reason we're speaking is because I'm in something of a predicament. My partner and I were gathering intelligence for the Covenant in Shipwreck Shoals, but we were caught by Dreadsail pirates and separated. We can't let the Sea Elves steal vital documents from the Covenant, can we? Yes, and I need you to rescue my partner. If she was captured, she'd be consigned to a life of brutal slavery. If you rescue Nari and take care of the documents, I'll forfeit my finder's fee from the Covenant to you. The three things to look out for are enemy messages to collect, allied documents to destroy, and Nari to bring to safety. You'll find all of them either among the wreckage on the shoals
side!
Nice bunch of plump guppies to be my pets.
I'm hurt. Bad. I need aid. Think of the tales we'll tell.
Get me out of here, please! Lucia, you have any idea how long I've been in this cage getting nipped at by reef vipers while Titus found you? I bet he was more concerned about those stupid papers than his own sister. You're a godsend. The Sea Elves would have fed me to the vipers piece by piece until I decoded the documents they wanted. I'm getting out of here. If you come across any papers written and coded, I'd be obliged to...
thing.
This is not the end of our tale. No guts, no glory.
I take no pleasure in killing. But I'm glad we're alive and they're not.
Did Lady... When I got to the shoals and saw all those sea elf pirates and handelids, I quickly sent a message to Lady Arabelle requesting assistance. But I was able to sneak over here, and that is when I spotted her. My ship, the Kamal's Bane. Oh, I thought I lost her forever. She washed ashore on the shoals, thank the Hist. It took me some time to reach this spot without being detected, but now that you're here, we can see what remains of my vessel. You check the hull, and I will search among the wreckage. Be careful.
I hope I was of some assistance.
figure Adelaide's taste.
still standing. Be proud of that.
Stay back. I can still fight.
Isleen! Friend, this is my bosun. There is none finer.
Captain! Saint Kain, it's you. I didn't think anyone would come for me. But if you're with the captain, please. It's Prince Ernskar. We have to help him. I'd be dead if it wasn't for the prince. Not exactly. After that strange storm swept in and the ship hit the rocks, we were struggling to get to the small boats. A wave hit me and I thought that was the end. But Prince Ernskar lifted me up, tossed me in the boat and shoved it away. The Kamal's Bane started to break apart. The storm pushed us into the straits and the current was dragging most of the ship toward Amanos. The last I saw, he was alive and clinging to the part of the ship floating toward Amanos. Even through the storm, I could hear others in the water, but the winds were sending the wreckage in all directions. You need to go find Prince Ernskar.
Return to the manor. Lady Arabelle must know of this. I'll return as soon as Isleen can travel.
You look tired. Be on guard. Well, what were you going to do if they hadn't shown up when they did?
You do realize that if you weren't my sister, you'd have been on your... Stow it, Nari. They're back. Your actions certainly didn't go unnoticed in there. I take it everything worked out, though? You saved the Alliance. And Nari. At least one of those accomplishments is worth the payment I promised. It's understandable, given the situation. But I can't say I appreciate her taking it out on me.
Don't think I'm done with this, Titus. You were just sitting here cozy while I was getting raked over the barnacles for those documents.
That's part of the job, Nari. You knew the risks when you signed... No!
Oops. Guess that was just one of the risks of the job.
The charges include larceny, goat smuggling, fraud, and excessive use of profanity in the presence of nobility.
If you've not... The corruption spreads quickly. Burn the corpse while I cast a cleansing spell. The corruption spreads throughout the grove. First the plants, then the animals, and now even some druids have been afflicted. A corrupted shrub. Burn it with cleansing fire after I cast my...
We are the spirit of the grove. We are the evergrowth, and we suffer. We are the spirit of the grove. We are the evergrowth, and we suffer. This druid seeks to help, while another has unbalanced the true way. Aid us, mortal, before the nature that sustains this grove collapses.
How disconcerting. The Evergrowth hasn't Pardon that display. I've never been forcibly taken over by a spirit of nature before. I wasn't sure if the corruption was connected to the Evergrowth, but now we know. And we know a druid is somehow involved. That troubles me. As I understand it, this grove was deemed sacred by the early druids, but it was also out of balance. They shaped Ifra's laws into a spirit and gave that spirit dominion over the grove. It recognized that I was trying to help it, and reached out. Yes. But is that druid acting out of malice or ignorance? Either way, if the Evergrowth succumbs, then the corruption will increase and spread out of control. We must take this news to the Circle Elders. Meet me in our village. Our village lies at the center of the grove. Once we get there, I will tell the Archdruid and the other elders what we learned. Archdruid, elders, this
Mom throws you
outsider
in the
helped
dung
me.
heap.
And the
Remember that you
Evergrowth.
need that fertilizer to grow the best flowers. Or something.
Archdruid, elders, this outsider helped me. And the Evergrowth, it spoke through me.
The spirit of the grove? It hasn't manifested like that in many generations. Are you sure?
Druid Audrine has never given us reason to doubt her observations. Tell us, child, what did the spirit say?
It warned us that nature was out of balance. That a druid was responsible for this trouble.
Out of balance? That explains the corruption. But to blame a druid, I cannot accept that without proof.
Then we will find that proof.
Young Audrine makes a bold...
Meet me at the Circle's ritual site. Over here, my friend. The Circle Elders cannot accept that one of our own may be responsible for this disaster. Help me investigate. Search the village for any signs that a druid is involved in the corruption. We'll wait and see if it communicates with us again. If not, I have an idea. But let us try to find the druid responsible for this situation first. I want to determine if this was an accident or a deliberate and reckless act.